Land of Lincoln friends, welcome to today's version of Friday Finance Facts. My name is Kayla Hittmeyer. I'm the Chief Marketing Officer for Land of Lincoln Credit Union, and I'm going to talk to you today a little bit about our kiddos. It's something that gets brought up to us a lot because some school curriculums don't actually have financial education. We get people who ask us a lot of times on what's the best way to educate your kiddos on money, or just to start that conversation, or to recognize when your kids are ready to have that conversation. So we're going to talk a little bit about that today. An interesting statistic that I found was only 5% of adults today state that they actually received some sort of financial education in junior high or high school. This isn't from your parents or whatever, just a formal setting in the education arena, getting some kind of education. And that's a staggering statistic. It actually really helps us understand why there's so much student loan and credit card debt and issues with things like that, because people maybe don't get that proper education that they need on how to budget for things, and just to set up that basic simple budget. So we're going to talk a little bit today about how to start having that conversation early with your kids so that you can set them up for a lifelong pattern of good financial decisions and financial wellness. You don't want to overwhelm them too young, so you really want to take the cues from your kids as to when to have these kinds of conversations. If you start to see them being curious about money or asking questions maybe when you're at the store about using your debit card or credit card, if they start asking about coins and the different values of coins and some curiosity about that, it's a good time to show that they're picking up on the fact that this money's worth something, and it's a good time to start that conversation. Another good cue would be the piggy bank is full. So if you get that piggy bank overflowing, it's a good time to take the monies inside of it and go open a savings account and let them realize, start talking to them about the importance of having that money in the savings account where it's kept safe and it's there if they need it, but they don't necessarily have to be spending it. That's the key with savings, is to let them know that it's there if they need it. They can start building that savings, and they don't necessarily see it all the time and spend it. Which brings me to my next point. If you see that maybe a little bit older kid has been acquiring some money and their wallet is just popping with dollars or 20s or whatever, and I have done that before after birthdays and realized that some money got put in their wallet instead of their savings. So that's a good time to talk to them about, let's take some of this and put it in savings for something later. And you can keep a little bit for those small indulgences, but start talking to them if you see that they've got money stuffed in a drawer or stuffed in their wallet or purse. That would be a good time to open a savings account and get it put in there, and talk to them a little bit about being conservative with things like that. Another good cue, I would say, is when they maybe have asked for something that's a little bit more expensive, an Xbox or some kind of a PlayStation, some kind of video gaming system. Maybe they're starting to take an interest in tennis shoes, and there's a little bit more expensive pair of tennis shoes that they're asking for. Maybe they're saying, Mom, why haven't we gone to Disney World yet? And they're asking for a vacation that you know is going to be really expensive. These types of items that they start talking about is a good opportunity for you to sit down and say, these things are expensive. They cost a lot of money, which takes a lot of hard work. And it's something that you have to plan ahead for. You can't just go out and purchase these things. There's something you have to think about and save for. So if they have that purchase that they want to make, maybe it's the tennis shoes, you talk to them a little bit about putting it in their savings, and when they get to that point, you can go and get it together. Or if you're going to plan for a family vacation, maybe you all save together and you open up a savings account that's a specific Disney fund, or wherever you're wanting to go. Hawaii. I'd like to go to Hawaii today. But that is a perfect opportunity to get them thinking about that you don't just make those whimsical purchases. It's a time to start getting them thinking about saving and planning ahead and having that fiscal responsibility, not charging it, but saving for it. So I've talked to you a little bit about the signs that they're ready for savings. Let's talk about the little bit older child in the adolescent, the pre-adolescent years, and the ones that are maybe showing some signs that they're ready to open a checking account. This is a little bit more, I would say you want to be a little bit more disciplined. So a good sign is that you see that they're responsible with money. Maybe they've had a lot of money in their room, but they don't overspend, or they don't make those purchases on a whim, impulse purchases. If you can see that they're responsible with money, then you'll know that they would be responsible with a debit card, because that temptation to withdraw cash, or to go, not necessarily a debit card, but just to go withdraw cash, is going to be there with a checking account. So you want to make sure that it's a teenager that is responsible and has shown a lot of responsibility and completely understands the expenses versus savings type of situation. Another good time to get them a checking account is, let's say their school does not offer the financial education curriculum. It's a good time to have the conversation with them about a checkbook. A lot of teenagers, a lot of millennials, and the Gen Z that are coming up have no idea. Just had this conversation with my 13-year-old the other night who asked about a checking account. And how it works. So they don't know you have to do the most basic explanation that just because you have this debit card, you have to go with how much money is in the account. So you want to sit down and have that very basic conversation about its input and output, its deposits and its withdrawals, and explain to them that they can't overdraw on things. So it's a good time to teach them some financial education by opening a checking account and being close in observation with them on it. Also, another good time, obviously, is they've maybe started some kind of part-time job. Maybe it's babysitting or working at a fast food restaurant or video store or lawn mowing, whatever it may be, where they have some kind of maybe regular flow of income coming in. That's a good time for you to get them a checking account. It's just a little bit more fluid for them to be able to make withdrawals when they need to. And the thing there is you don't have their monies that they're making from this part-time job just piled up somewhere where it's in sight, and they're more likely to go and spend it. If it's in a checking account, there's chances are that they'll keep it there and they can make those regular deposits and get money as they need it with your supervision and your keeping an eye on that. Standard age ranges for these types of conversations, just to give you, every child is different and advances differently, but I would say ages 3 to 5 is a good time to talk a little bit about basic savings account concepts and basic spending concepts, and not get too overwhelmed with, the types of economy type discussions, but obviously just you save for things, and we're going to save here, and it can go into a bank or credit union, and this is where you save those money, and you can talk to them a little bit about it actually earns them money if they put it into a credit union savings account. So you can start to introduce those basic concepts from 3 to 5. From 6 to 12 years old, they get a little bit more sophisticated with understanding spending and budgets and things like that. And that's a good time for you to help them set a savings goal of some sort and get them thinking to themselves early on that when they have that expensive purchase that they want to make, that saving is the option. As opposed to spending on credit, saving is the option. You save ahead of time for what you want to do. And then from 13 to 21 is a good time for you to boost up that financial education. Talk to them a little bit about budgeting and planning ahead and how much money you're going to have for the month or the week, especially those college age. You want to help them set up on a budget. Even if you're footing the bill while they're in college, it's important for them to set that budget up based on what mom and dad or whomever their part-time job is providing for them income-wise. You still want to help them get set up on a budget. You don't ever want to just send them off and think when they need money, they call mom and they get it. It's still important for you to help them instill those budgets at that age, because that'll help them as they go on into their adult years and start a career and a family. I want to talk to you just briefly about what we do offer at Land of Lincoln Credit Union with regards to youth accounts. Our youngest is our Kirby Kangaroo Savings Account, and that's for ages 3 to 12 years old. It's a fun club, Kirby Kangaroo Club. I'm going to pause for a second so that you can see what our quarter savings book looks like. So you can see that basically they save up $5 worth of quarters, which is what it takes to open a Kirby Kangaroo Savings Club account. They come in with that booklet once it's full, and they will be able to open a savings account with us, a Kirby Kangaroo. And there's lots of cool perks that come with being a Kirby Kangarooer. We do pays for A's with report cards. We'll do different promotions throughout the year that are specific, and different events that are specific to any kids who have a Kirby Kangaroo account. So it's a lot of fun, and it's a good way to get them. We have kiddos come in all the time, again, with that piggy bank, and they're ready to make that deposit. So it's a good way to get them thinking about that. At the little bit older level, when you get into the teens, we have the See You Succeed teen program. This is for 13 to 17-year-olds. This is where we get a little bit more into the education, and we have materials, free web-based materials for you to either print off or let them look at that talk a little bit more about budgeting. It can help you with it. It's a great program, and again, there's some perks that come with it, but it's just a great way, especially if the schools don't offer the curriculum, to start having those discussions with them. They can open a checking account with us at Land of Lincoln Credit Union as young as 13 years of age. From 13 to 15, we do have to have a parent signature on those. But the neat thing about the accounts, the youth checking accounts here with us, is the parents are on it. You can get email, alert notifications. So can the kiddos, the teenagers, so that they can see, you know, if they're getting close to a balance that you've set that they don't want to go under. They'll get those alert notifications on there. We have pop money available with the accounts, which is let's say they are at college or they're having lunch with a friend and they need money. You can pop money into their account from your other account real easy just through your phone. So it's a real handy way for you to help manage the accounts together as a parent-kid team in that budgeting situation. So we also offer assistance with student loans, so you can come in and talk with us about that. But we have all kinds of great programs. So we are ready, and you can check us out at llcu.org to find out more information on it, or you can come in and talk to us at any one of our branches throughout Central Illinois. We have 11 branches ready to greet you. And you can find out all those locations on our website as well. So I hope this has helped you out, and we are ready to help your kiddos. Please pop in. We have all kinds of fun tchotchkes that they'll get too. I'll show you. If you stick around for the end, I'll show you what those toys can be when they pop in to see us. So thanks and have a great day, and stay warm.
Hi friends, how's everybody doing? I hope you really liked the Friday Finance Facts where we discussed youth accounts. This last part I'm going to do in the style of ASMR, which stands for Autonomous Sensory Response. ASMR videos are all the rage on YouTube with Gen Z and millennials, so I thought this would be a perfect way for me to tell you the good fun things that youth get with our accounts and let you hear them. Fidget spinners. I'm not very good at this, but I'm trying. How about they'll get a pen with a stylus on the end. So exciting. They'll get a stress apple. They can squeeze the stress out. Squeeze. Oh, I told you, I'm not good at this. They'll get earbuds so they can